Last year, I read a book by Dr. Henry Cloud, psychologist and Christian psychologist, and he wrote a book called Nine Things You Simply Must Do. And one of the chapters of his book is called, it's one of the principles, the nine things, is play the movie. And I think today's reading has something to do with playing the movie for our lives. Hi, I'm Pastor Mark with Heights Christian Church, and we are going through the Bible in 5 years. And we want you to join us, so we'd like to invite you to subscribe to this channel. You'll get a notification or you'll get a video every day, 6 days a week actually. One day we do sermons, and so we invite you to read along with us. And currently, we are in the middle of Proverbs, well, chapter 7 of 31 chapters. And so Solomon is, again, reaching out to his son and asking him to play the movie, basically. Play the movie, the idea of playing the movie is it means to never see any individual action as a singular thing in and of itself. Any one thing you do is only a scene in a larger movie. To understand that action, you have to play it out. So let's read chapter 7 and see how that looks like playing the movie. Starting in chapter 7, verse 1, My son, keep my words and store up my commands within you. Keep my commands that you will live, and guard my teachings as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingers, write them on the tablet of your heart. Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and to insight, you are my relative. They will keep you from the adulterous woman, from the wayward woman with her seductive words. At the window of my house, I looked down through the lattice. I saw among the simple. I noticed among the young men a youth who had no sense. He was going down the street near her corner, walking along in the direction of her house. At twilight, as the day was fading, as the dark of night set in, then out came a woman to meet him, dressed like a prostitute and with a crafty intent. She is unruly and defiant. Her feet never stay at home. Now in the street, now in the squares, at every corner she lurks. She took hold of him and kissed him, and with a brazen face she said, Today I fulfilled my vows, and I have food for my fellowship offering at home. So I came out to meet you. I looked for you and have found you. I have covered my bed with colored linens from Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh and aloes and cinnamon. Come, let's drink deeply of love till morning. Let's enjoy ourselves with love. My husband is not at home. He has gone on a long journey. He took his purse filled with money and will not be home till full moon. With persuasive words, she led him astray. She seduced him with her smooth talk, and all at once he followed her, like an ox going to the slaughter, like a deer stepping into a noose, till an arrow pierced his liver. Like a bird darting into a snare, little knowing it will cost him his life. Now then, my sons, listen to me. Pay attention to what I say. Do not let your heart turn to her ways or stray into her paths. Many are the victims she has brought down. Her slain are a mighty throng. Her house is a highway to the grave, leading down to the chambers of death. This is Solomon having viewed a similar thing happen to a young man who is without sense, as the Bible says, was allured into being involved in something that should not happen and is against God's way and can lead to death and destruction, as we've talked about already this week. What Solomon doing here is playing the movie out for his sons. Sure, it's enticing. Sure, the woman's beautiful. Sure, it'd be a moment of pleasure, and there's all kinds of sin. Adultery is included in here, but all kinds of sin that at the point have a moment of pleasure, of seeming joy. but in the end leading to devastation. And what Solomon is asking his sons to do is to play the movie out. The simple decisions that you make in your life, how will that play out to the end of the movie? Is this going to be a good movie? Is your life going to be a good movie? See, it doesn't matter what you've done in the past. If you start today to start making choices based on the good ending of a movie, you want to see your life at the end of the movie, at the end of your life, to be one in which it is fulfilled in a godly way, then this is something that you need to remember. You need to be able to think ahead and see what is going to happen in your life. Do you understand what I'm saying? You need to learn to be able to say no before you have to say no. So these are parts of the decisions, and the reason why we're reading Proverbs is to be able to see from other people's lives or from your own personal experiences why it's important to say no to some things, to say yes to some things. And if you've already made that decision, when you become faced with that, you will have already made that decision. You will have already played that movie, so you already knew what your choice is. So that's my encouragement for today. I hope that you have an amazing day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.